What's going on, people? Today's video is on Adin Ross and his venture into the world of influencer boxing. If you guys are watching this, you probably know that I have fought on Misfits Boxing before, which is on DAZN. It is brilliant, and in my opinion, it's the #1 and premier space within the world of crossover and influencer boxing. You've also got Jake Paul with MVP, although he's actually branded that as more of a professional outfit, even though by definition, Jake Paul really is a crossover boxer. On top of that, we've also had Kingpin, and we all know the infamous line that was thrown at Wade Plemons, "Go have fun" on Kingpin. That is no longer around because of financial issues. There are a couple of other things as well going on in Dubai, but it seems like Adin Ross in America is staking his claim to have the #1 crossover or influencer boxing platform. Now, this isn't a brand new idea because months ago we saw these unlicensed fights happening during his kick streams, and whilst they garnered a lot of attention, and obviously Adin Ross is a massive streamer, they were always going to, and honestly, we all just like seeing people get punched in the head. I don't know what's wrong with us, but if you're a boxing fan, there's something about it that tickles you. This time, Adin Ross is not taking the unlicensed route, and he's actually putting on a proper show. He's even given the promotion a name, Brand Risk Boxing. And I kind of get it, because if you're going on there and you are an influencer, or you are a rapper, or you're any type of social figure, you have the potential to get knocked out and slept in front of the whole internet, and that is definitely putting your brand at risk. Let's get into what's coming up. On Saturday night, which is the 1st of February, 1 AM in the UK, there's going to be a card that takes place. Now, headlining this card, and the person who I'm most excited to see, is the one and only Dean the Great. Now, Dean the Great, aka Dean Fitz, aka Mr. Yadig, he has been an absolute marvel since he started stepping into these boxing rings. In Misfits, he's been undefeated. He's got multiple stoppages recently over David Fogarty in Ireland, but who is going to forget the matches he had with Waleed Sharks? In one of them, Dean seemed to badly damage one of his hands, his right hand, his brick hand, and have to fight in the opposite stance and still manage to get the job done. So we know that he is a great competitor, and he's actually going to be fighting against Puli Arif as well. Somebody who's been around the scene for a while, is tough as nails, and honestly is up for anything against anybody. And the fact that he's taking on this challenge speaks volumes in itself. Puli was actually in the Misfits lightweight tournament and ended up losing early on, but believe me when I tell you, he did not disgrace himself by any means. He would have known this fight is coming. It's something that he's been hunting for a long time, so I do expect to see the best version of Puli Arif in the ring. Now, the other interesting permutation of this is that Dean had a public unceremonious falling out with Misfits. He was meant to fight the winner of the Misfits lightweight tournament, and that winner was Lil Cray Cray, aka Rimu, aka the guy we've been watching have public fights for ages, especially if you are a Street Beefs fan. However, Dean the Great came out afterwards and said, "No, I'm not taking that fight, I don't want it," and it all broke down because of financial negotiations. So the really interesting thing here is Dean is still contracted to Misfits, because what he signed previously, and the reason why the finance was an issue, was a deal that spanned multiple fights and obviously had outlined what he would be paid for them. So for him to now be fighting on Brand Risk Promotions under Adin Ross on Kick, it means that Mams Taylor, the guy who runs Misfits along with KSI, has sanctioned that he can go. He's actually given him his blessing to go and fight on this platform, obviously so he can stay active and potentially to keep on building his profile as well. Now, it's a smart business decision for Misfits, because the bigger of a star that Dean is, the better, as he's Misfits lightweight champion, although I think he may have been stripped. And also for Dean, it's a great thing too. But one thing it does say is that the public spat that played out, obviously there's been no grudges held behind closed doors, because they're still allowing this to happen. And for Puli, it's a brilliant opportunity as well, so I cannot see what comes of this. Now, for a quick rundown of the rest of the fight card, we also have a bout happening between Jay Cinco and Melt. They both seem like they're streamers, and obviously they make content, but Jay Cinco is probably the bigger name out of them, and he actually is a rapper as well as a streamer. Now, if you go online, you might see Jay Cinco doing a little bit of pad work, but they're both making their debuts. There's not a lot of knowledge about them. They're both 5'9", 5'10", so I'm expecting that they're going to get in the ring around the 175 mark. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I can't imagine they're going to be doing weight cuts and being super strict with it, but hey, we've got two newbies to the scene, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. Another bout that we have is Ant versus Glitzy. Now, the interesting thing about this is we've got a clash of characters here. So Glitzy his background is more he's a fashion and a lifestyle vlogger. Do you know what I mean? Image is quite important. I guess he kind of takes himself fairly seriously as well, because he perceives himself to be very good at what he does, and how he is perceived as everything in that world, right? However, Ant is a prankster. He's a joker. He does challenges. He definitely doesn't take himself too seriously. And he's been known to say that he's looking at bringing the flair to the influencer boxing world. So that's going to be quite interesting. I mean, Ant has shown a little bit of training on his Instagram, but again, there's not really a lot to go off. And for Glitzy, he's shown himself doing some conditioning work and just getting fit. Obviously, they know a fight is coming. They're going to get themselves into shape. But as far as what they're going to be like, again, there's no boxing history there. We don't know. It's going to be a complete misnomer. However, from Misfits Boxing, when you look at the Cat versus Gareth and Bad Boy Chiller Crew fight, sometimes having people that are novices is just highly entertaining, because they just start swinging hands. They don't know how to defend themselves properly. They try blocking punches with their faces, and it can make for a really good piece of entertainment. Do you know what I mean? So another fight that we have coming up on this card is Tay Too Smooth, right? Who's somebody who is actually really interested in boxing and has been for a while. He talks about it online and shows a lot of him training. And he's fighting against 66 No 60. Now, he's a gamer and makes reaction videos. And to be honest with you, it doesn't seem like he knows too much about boxing whatsoever. So if I was a betting man, Tay Too Smooth is probably going to take this. But who knows? I mean, they're of a similar build anyway, so they're probably going to be, again, weight-wise in a similar place. I'd really like to know how disciplined they are going to be with the weight classes. But Tay Too Smooth having a genuine passion for it probably gives him the upper hand, and I'll be expecting him to win this. And then we also have Snags versus Glass Bag. Now, Snags has actually been on these promotions on Kick before on Adin Ross's stream, so the people who are watching are going to know him. Glass Bag is new to the scene. Now, he's shown a little bit of boxing stuff, but again, not really too much, and we've actually seen Snags before, so we know that he knows how to be in a ring. Do you know what I mean? He's never had any professional bouts or anything like that, but he's shown a lot of training footage, often just prioritizing speed over anything else, and he's also shown some intense workout sessions as well. So again, he's going to be physically ready for this, and it's going to be really interesting. Overall, I kind of feel like this is going to be nothing but a good thing for the influencer boxing space and the crossover boxing space. For me, I'm someone who always looks at it as, where can I go next? Who can I fight next? And having new people there is going to be a good thing. It allows Pulley to get another opportunity. It allows Dean the Great to keep on building himself as a star as well. So I think it's just going to be taking things from strength to strength. And they're based over in America. Misfits predominantly is in the UK, although obviously they do shows in America as well. I think KSI being here means that the biggest pool is here. King Kenny's here. Salt Pappy's here. HS Tiki Toki's from the UK. Tommy Fury's here. Darren Till's here. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it is a bit UK centric. So there's an argument to say that for the wider ecosystem, Adin Ross being successful is only going to be a good thing. And then we can have cross-promotional shows as well. And you can have Adin Ross's Bramrish champion fighting against a Misfits champion. Like, I think the possibilities are endless at the end of the day. And the more eyes on it, the better. If there's one thing that we know about Adin Ross, is that he knows how to garner attention. He knows how to host things, and he knows how to make stuff work. So listen, Bramrish Promotions, it's a new player to the scene. Obviously, Misfits is still number one, and to me, it is a big dog. MVP, I'm sure, would have something to say about that, but they operate slightly differently. For everybody, it's about trying to build stars away from the main stars, right? So when KSI is unboxing, what can Misfits do? And I think Misfits has shown that even when KSI is not there, like in the last card, it can still be hugely successful. And for MVP, if Jake Paul's not in an event, how does that do? What does that look like? Obviously, if they had Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, then yeah, that would probably still do well, but they still need to make other stars. And Adin Ross needs to go down that same road. Interestingly, Dean the Great is probably the star he's leaning on at the moment, but Dean was kind of made by Misfits, so we'll see. Obviously, Dean, shout out to you, my boy. I know you work hard and you do a lot of things, and you weren't made by Misfits, but they amplified your stardom. You know what I mean? So, personally, I can't wait for Saturday night. I can't wait to see all of these. I'll be back doing review videos of them all as well. And on TikTok, I'll probably be doing the play-by-play round-by-rounds too. So, yeah, stay tuned. Let me know what you think. Do you think this Adin Ross promotion brand risk is going to be successful? Do you think it will be around to stay? How big do you think it can become? Do you think it can rival Misfits? Do you think it can become bigger? Do you think it's going to end up being a kingpin? Let me know in the comments. Let's chat about it, and let me know if you want to see any other videos. Peace, love, salutations. I've been Rak-Su. Bye.